Hey everybody, I'm Maria McBride, the owner of Hometown Sweat, and in this posture tutorial, I'm going to be talking to you today about Locust Pose. Locust Pose is the second pose in the spine strengthening series that we do in Original Hot Yoga and our Hot Hour classes, and it's a really effective posture at strengthening your upper back muscles. It's also a posture that's very normal to feel frustrated or like you aren't making any progress in, because let's be honest, it's really challenging for people to lift their legs up off of the floor. So in today's tutorial, I'm going to be talking to you about technique, about how you can get the most out of this pose, the proper alignment and form, even if your legs don't get that high up off the ground. And I want you to be sure to remember that you're still getting maximum benefit from this pose as long as you are trying and showing up and continuing to put that effort in. Let's take a look. We start in Locust Pose laying down on your belly with your head to the left side. From here, scoot your arms underneath your body with your palms facing down on the mat. Now you can do this with your head still turned to the side, and then bring your chin forward. Press your shoulders down on the mat, open up your fingers and grab onto the floor with your fingers. On an inhale breath, lift your right leg up towards the ceiling, keeping your legs straight, your toes pointed, and try to keep your hip in alignment so your hip doesn't twist out like that. Then you do the left side, same thing, left leg lifts up, shoulders down, and grab the floor. Then for the both legs, turn your head in so you've got a nice straight neck, grab the floor, engage your upper back. With a little bit, you can use a little bit of momentum here, take a breath, and both legs lift up. And then slowly lower the leg back down to the mat. So a couple of things to just remind you about so that you can get the most out of this posture. We are working the upper back muscles in addition to helping to improve the range of motion and the flexibility in your elbow joints. So you want your arms to be in a straight position underneath your body. But sometimes this isn't quite possible yet, depending on what sort of inflexibility you're dealing with. So if your arms are bent from the start and there's no way for them to straighten, that's okay, but don't jam your wrists underneath your body. Instead, work your arms alongside the body, trying to straighten them out little bit by little bit, class after class, week after week. So it's a good practice in your patience to not feel like you're in any sort of rush to get the arms underneath the body if they're not quite straight yet. Now, the next thing to keep in mind is that we actually want the hands open under the body with just the tips of the pinkies next to each other if possible. In other words, you don't need to jam the wrists too close. That's almost a little bit too much. So open up the fingers, tips of the pinkies touching. That way you have a lot of surface area to work with to create the leverage in order to lift your legs up off of the mat. Now, the other thing that can feel a little confusing or could be maybe a bit of a paradigm shift is that your back, your upper back, is the part of your body that's working here in order to get your legs up. So it's not all in the legs with your arms and your hands and your fingers just hanging out, but rather you are big time engaging these muscles in your back and grabbing onto the floor in order to lift your legs up. So you want to think about the weight and the pressure and the strength coming from your upper back, and that's what helps you get the legs up off the mat. Now, the final thing is that your breathing in Locust Pose is gonna give you a tremendous amount of help. So make sure that when you take that big inhale, you're coming up off of the mat and you can slowly lower down on an exhale. So I hope that was helpful. Let me know how it goes for you next time you try Locust Pose and use this technique practicing from this point forward. Have a great day.